Hey there, folks. How you doing today? Hope you're having an awesome day. Well, it's Thursday, so what better time to do a Thankful Thursday? And something I have to be thankful for today is the support I get from other people in the community and, creators, non-creators, just good folks who like to reach out, lend a hand, help out, show support. And one great guy who's been showing a lot of support lately is Sasquatch Knives Canada. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, but you can check him out on Instagram. He has a great channel, some great knives. Texts me or messages me almost daily with new knives he's found. And he likes to help out the channel, so occasionally he sends some stuff my way. Well, he sent a big box this time with a lot of stuff in it. Now, I'm going to try and go through this quick because there's a lot to look at, and we don't want this to be too long, but let's jump right into it. So first off, we've got a few stickers and patches he sent. So we've got one here from Worksharp, Dial It In, and that's basically referencing the degrees, the angles for sharpening the edge of your knife. And then we've got a Zippo sticker, another Worksharp, Dull is Dangerous, which is very true of a knife. Give It the Onion, and another Worksharp hook and loop patch that actually shows some different angles for sharpening. And then this really cool one here. WeKnife.com, CiviviKnife.com, and SendCut. So basically, for anybody who doesn't know, it's essentially the same company. WeKnife is the top end brand, Civivi is the mid-range, and SendCut is the budget brand or budget line. So those are pretty awesome. And then he sent a few trinkets and tchotchkes. We've got here a clip that you could attach to a Kaidas sheath so you could wear it on your belt. He sent me these cool little carved ducks. These are pretty sharp. Really nice detail on that for a small duck. And there is your maker there. It's a very nice carving and paint job. Another little one here. And another little one here. So they can hang out and join the moose. And then we've got little button compass key ring. Oh, this is nice. Fishing fly. Now, my father used to tie his own flies before the Parkinson's got too bad, but he saw this, so I know where this is going, and it's going to see some water this summer. Then we've got a couple rings that he made. He makes these out of those little decorative spoons. He just kind of pounds them flat, rolls them over, makes a ring out of them. So that's pretty neat. And obviously I like rings, so I'll wear those. Just a couple of these little hooks, great for paracord projects. And speaking of that, here's one here. I don't know if he made this himself or not, but great little key ring type thing. Clip it on your belt loop, hang your keys off it or whatever. And we've got looks like a Benchmade pin. Who's hungry? So I guess Benchmade must have a line of kitchen knives. Who remembers these? The old mini mag. These were the go-to light back in the 80s, probably into the 90s, before all the LED stuff came about. And then this assortment here. So like a neck chain, it's got a old coach's whistle. Little nail care kit piece with a blade, file, fingernail cleaner, screwdriver tool, and then an old church key. And I can't make out the first word at the top, but I think it's Vaughn, USA, Diamond Clear Grain Belt beer. Grain Belt Premium, being a long time of brewing. That's pretty neat. Okay, so let's look at some knives. So we'll look at the big ones first. So he sent me this one, and I'm not sure if that's hardened leather or plastic. I mean, it's got some stitching to it, but it's pretty solid. So, I mean, it could be leather that was soaked in some kind of a curing agent or whatever. Now we've got this knife. Now, I'm not sure if this is the knife that originated with this sheath. It's kind of like a puko style sheath, but nice wood handle on it. Warncliffe style blade. No maker's mark. Nice little bit of an edge on it. A pretty cool knife. And it does work well with that sheath. Then we've got this fella here. This says Bartow and Sons USA. I'm not sure. I haven't heard of that company. Maybe somebody has, but I'm guessing this was probably a logger machete at one time, and then the blade broke, so somebody reprofiled it. You can kind of see here it's got the saw on the spine, and you can see where they ground the teeth down. So I suspect that's what happened. They make a pretty good little garden knife. Do some pruning in your yard and whatnot. That's kind of cool. The cream of the crop on the big fellas right here. Buck Knives 120 General. Now this isn't the original sheath. This is a newer sheath, but it's an older knife. And there we have it. So it's older. It has Buck 120 USA, but it doesn't have a date symbol with it. So I'm guessing late 70s, early 80s. There's a lot of different things that goes into dating one of these, like the liner on the guard, different things. Now you can see this fella's seen a little bit of use. So it's been sharpened down maybe 1/8 of an inch, maybe 2/8 from the original width. And you see the person who sharpened heavier towards the guard than they did to the tip because it's got kind of a sweep to it, but still an awesome knife with a lot of life left in it. This would be the Scream knife, made famous in the Scream movies by the masked fella who did some dastardly deeds with it. It's basically a Buck 119 with a longer blade. So maybe we'll do a comparison sometime, but that's pretty awesome. And then he sent me a bunch of project knives. And I'm not kidding when I say a bunch. I'll start with here. There is a blade and I think a clip from an M-Tech modern kind of flipper. You can see it was a flipper because of the flipper tab right there with the jimping. So I might be able to build something neat from that. And then this one here. It's basically got most everything except the pins. So it needs to be repinned. As you can see, the covers go on here. There's your back spring. It may be missing, I suspect, a spacer in the back, or it may have been a lanyard loop or something like that, but it's got a pretty cool blade on it. That's like a Skinner blade. Super Sport, Valor, Miami, USA. And 440 stainless, 316 or 318 Japan. So I just need to get some pins for that. Luckily the pivot pin's still there. Just need to pin the frame together. So that'll be a fun project once I score some pins. Alrighty, I'm going to try and go to this quick because we're already 9 minutes in. So we've got this little fella here. Stainless. It's a mid-lock, but the locking mechanism isn't working. So I'm eager to take that apart and try and figure out why. We've got this one here. Again, the locking mechanism isn't working. Open road, 440 stainless, Japan. It looks like somebody's done a lot of reprofiling on that blade. You can even see where the blade tip was sticking up above, so they clipped that off. Then we got this one here, an old Hawkbill pruner, and it is Klein Tools, Chicago, USA. It looks like 1550-24, made in Sheffield, England. Locks up nice. Caps, fully encapsulating cover. Little break out of the cover there. Lock is still solid. A little bit of play, but that's going to happen with the liner locks over time. They're just going to wear at the metal. And then we got this big fella here. So this would be a Chinese knockoff on a buck 110. Some cool patina on that brass. Anyways, blade's in great shape, opens up well. Stainless china. I've got a couple knives similar to this, and they cleaned up well, but everything nice and solid. So that's going to be a good, fun one for polishing up the brass and whatnot. We've got an old Marlin spike. And this one is a Richards. You can see that. Sheffield, England. Pivot needs some cleaning up. Get the gunk out of there. And then your Marlin spike on the back. And it still has the bail. So, looks like somebody may have set something heavy or drove a vehicle over it or something, because it's compressed here and it's spread the bolsters out. So I'm going to have to try and squeeze those back in and then look at a way to recover it. Here's what I think is an older CRKT M16. Needs some tightening up, cleaning in the pivot, but these things are easy to take apart. That won't be much to do, but Carson Design M16 10 KSF with a Tonto style blade with some serration on it. I think there's been a few versions of these over time. This one's a frame lock. Tip down clip on it. And looks like you can go left or right with the clip. That's pretty cool. Got a linesman or electrician's knife. It's in pretty good shape. Lots of blade left. Just gotta get some rust off of it. And it's hard to make out, but that is a Klein and Sons. So I've got others that are just Klein, but this one's Klein and Sons. Just need some cleanup in the pivots. Liner lock is working good. Springs are good and tight and solid. So, hey Mike, maybe that can be our dual live. And then we've got an old timer that's had a well-used life, and somebody's done some modifications to it. So you've got your sheep's foot in good shape, still got some snap. You've got your spay blade that's seeing some use, but still in good shape. Still has some snap. And it is a 34 OT, Schrade, New York, USA. As you can see here, somebody's done some modifications to the, what would have been a clip point. So I'm assuming it probably broke at the tip, and then they've kind of profiled it down here, kind of Warncliffe-y, sheep's foot kind of deal. Did a pretty good job with it. Some play in the blade, so I got to tighten up the bolster. Kind of neat. You gotta wonder what somebody was thinking when they went that way with it. But very cool old timer. I think we got another old timer in here. There we go. Little teeny old timer. You can see it. On light. Oh, I can't make out the number there. But trade New York, USA. This one looks like the tip was broken off at some point and had a little bit of reprofiling, but still lots of good blade there. And pen blade and sheep's foot with the tip broken off. So we're going to have to do a little reprofile on that as we clean it up. But still good and snappy. And then we've got this little fella here, a little lock back. Pivot needs a little cleaning. It's a 440 vanadium steel Japan. High to tie E, and it looks to have some BC native art right here. Everything's still no blade play at all, so we just gotta probably clean the pivot out a little bit on that one. We've got another buck style lock back from China, but look here. Somebody has done some serious grinding on the blade and looks like some serious pounding on the pivot. So I'm thinking this might have been a blade replacement, because as you'll see here in a second, it just doesn't look like it's the blade that came with that. I mean, the blade's had some heavy modification on it. Like I say, they've ground down the spine, ground a clip into the tip. You can see a grinder worked heavily on all angles of the blade. So I'm guessing somebody just had a blade from another knife, tried to do a blade replacement. And not a bad job, not a pretty job, but just curious. So we'll clean that one up too. Then we got a nice little Stockman here, medium size, wood covers, brass bolsters, pretty significant brass bolsters too. There's your clip point, still in good shape. No markings at all on the tang for that. Good snap. There is your sheep's foot, stainless, and then you see here, looks like a INCAN or something like that. Can't quite make it out. So I don't know what that symbol is. Maybe somebody will recognize that. And then your pen blade. Beefy one too. Good snap, good and solid. Nice knife. Got a little Victorinox, and the model for this escapes me at the moment. It's not the SD, but Sienna, so an advertising brand, but it is the model that has this tool here. So you've got your cap lifter, wire stripper, and Phillips screwdriver. And then your main blade with your tang stamp that reads this way. Victorinox, Switzerland, stainless, Rosfray. And then you've got your toothpick, your tweezers, your scissors, and your file and flathead. And we got this little one here, which is kind of neat. Now this is a springless knife. There's no back spring on it. Got a little bail. Just folds out. Nothing secures it. All it says on it is Ross free. so possibly German. Just a nice little key ring or watch fob knife. We've got this one here, which has a jig bone cover. Cover's got a little play right here. Tank stamp is whatever that says. I'll put a clearer picture up. But it's German, it's all in Germany. So I just don't have them, can't make out the maker's mark right there. But I will after the video. We're missing one of the bolsters. A little bit of play, but nothing I can't work with. There's your sheep's foot. Thing there. And a well-used spade blade. Just some rust to clean up on that one. Here is just a very simple two-bladed jack. Long nail nick pull there. And this one is a Utica Cutlery, Utica, New York, made in USA. So this would be more, I think, along the gentleman's knife line, maybe. And you got your pen blade, which has been attacked by a grinder, so we'll clean that up. Here we have a similar little watch fob kind of knife. Has this symbol here. Almost looks like it's a rose or some kind of a flower. Nothing on the other side. Some file work on the covers. And a little penny pen blade. So a very cool little watch fob knife. Got this fella here, another lockback. Some substantial bolsters on that, some brass liners. Just says stainless, nothing else. Very snappy and a nice spear point blade on it. Very pokey. Little 3-finger knife. Feels really good in the hand, nice and secure. It's a well-made knife. Very nice snap to it. I like it. And you can put a lanyard or a bell on it. We have this one here with clamshell covers and bolsters. And it's a 4-blade equal end, kind of a Congress style on the blades. That one's been well touched. You get 2 pen blades. Now the other blades are tricky to get out. It's odd. For the main blade, they put the nail nick to the back rather than to the front. A little tricky to get out. There it is. And no markings on that one. And then another pen blade here. And nothing on that one. So I'm not sure who would have made this one. Very snappy. Good springs on it. And then finally, we have a Swiss Army style. And this one, made in Germany. Nothing else to it. You get your spear point that had a fight with a grinder, but still snappy, in solid. You've got a little clip point. You've got your bottle opener flathead. And then what makes me think this is an older knife is you've got the very old style can opener on it. So this could be an older knife. And then you've got your corkscrew, and you've got your punch, reamer, awl, whatever you want to call it, and some kind of a plasticky cover. But otherwise, in pretty good shape. But I'm guessing it's an older knife just by the style of that can opener. So, pretty cool. So that is the knife haul. So as I count here, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20, 23 knives. So you can't beat that. So I've got lots of project knives there to work with. So yeah, I'm pretty thankful. That will keep me going for a while. The cleanups, I know I haven't been posting many of those lately. I haven't. I've been very down in energy since I had that blood clot in my lung, and then I just got diagnosed yesterday with lupus. So that explains it. So my energy levels are kind of in the tank right now, and with it being cold out, I just haven't had the desire to get out in the shop and work, and I'm sorry for that. But as the weather improves and I get this whole situation sorted out, I've got a lot here to work with, and I've got some other knives he sent me that I still have to get at. So very thankful for the kind support from the community in general, but particularly from Sasquatch Knives Canada. We chat pretty much every day. He sends me messages and pictures with all the knives he finds on his way home from work, stopping at different antique shops and whatnot. So I really appreciate that. I love seeing them. So that being said, I'll let you go. We're into this for almost 30 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed the look at all these knives that he sent me to work on. And this one here, that I've been looking for one of these for quite a while, so I'm quite happy to have that. They're not cheap if you want to look for one on the secondary market. So particularly an older one like that. Anyways, folks, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have an awesome day. Weekend's coming up pretty soon, so make some good plans to hang out with people you enjoy spending time with, and if you get a chance, get yourself out to the woods. Let that peace and quiet just strip away all your woes. Take a knife with you. Might come in handy. You all take care.